Hello Aries, welcome to your AstroTarot reading for the week beginning the 17th of October 2022. I'm your host, Lunarcraft from Psychic Truth, and you will notice I am already shuffling my cards because that is where I'm starting with this week's reading. So, split the deck. Now I'm going to draw out 3 cards just for you, Aries. And then I'll turn them over, see what's there, see what the messages are, and pass those on to you. And if it's appropriate, I'll pull out information from the planetary aspects and influences and share those with you. Now, oh, what challenging cards you've got this week. 2 out of the 3. And I don't wish ill on anybody, and especially not you, Aries. I do have an Aries daughter, and she is very much an Aries child. But she does also have these tendencies, so let me get into it. Your first card out is the 9 of Swords, the Nightmare card. Now, Aries, you are the baby of the zodiac. You're the one that kicks everything off. Everything is new and fresh for you. You are full of energy. You are an instigator. You set things going. But when things start to get a bit pressurized, it can cause you to worry. Now, my theory about worrying, and believe me, I used to be every bit as worried as the next person, but something I've realised as I've grown up, grown older, is that worrying really is a total waste of time and energy because it can take over your life. It can halt you in your tracks. And that is very much what worry is about. You know, it's like sitting in a rocking chair, and that backwards and forwards movement, oh, it's so relaxing. But hey, when you stop propelling yourself and look around, you realise that you've used energy, but you haven't got anywhere. And that's exactly what worrying is like. So, start training your mind to, instead of focusing in on the negative or the things that are not working out as you want them to, instead of focusing on those, focus on the things, however tiny they might be, that are good in your life, the things that have resulted from you taking positive action. And gradually your mind will start to look for those good things and forget the things that cause distress. Now, your middle card, if memory serves, I believe this came out for you last week as well. Now, your middle card is the 2 of Cups. And the 2 of Cups is all about relationships and giving support to one another. And if I can draw your attention to the image on this card, you will see that the two of them are holding cups, but they're holding them together in their joint hands. So right from the beginning of this image, they are as one. Also, there are a lot of rays coming out from those cups, and the rays are positivity being spread. Also, you've got two snakes that are entwined around an energetic sword blade. It's the classic Caduceus healing symbol. And that's the power of this type of love. It has a healing quality to it, and that is directed at hurts that remain from previous relationships. Once it's been healed, you can box it up and chuck it away, because any power that it contained has been nullified. Above that, you've got the head of a line, and that's saying together you are stronger than you are individually. So look for ways to help one another. And either side of the lion's head, you've got angel wings supporting the lion's head. And that's there as a reminder that if you ask your angels for help, for support, they will give that willingly. But the one thing they can't do, however much they might want to, they cannot intercede without being asked to do so. So there's a lot of really positive emotional energy, a lot of fire energy as well. Now, you think that water and fire would not be good companions, but they can be if competition is removed. They no longer try to outdo each other. And finally, your third card is the Tower. Now, the Tower often depicts a life-changing event coming close, something catastrophic. However, seeing it in this position with the other two cards, it shows me that you have within you the power to lessen the impact of the event, not on your own. It's because you will be working alongside someone who understands, who wants the same outcomes that you do. And that partnership makes you so powerful. You can move mountains if you set your mind to it. Don't lose sight of that. You are a lot more powerful than you realise. Wow, that is quite some stuff to be mulling over during this coming week. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to try and confuse things any further, but do please have a fabulous week. at least you know the potential pitfalls so you can be prepared for them. But as I said, I'm going to leave it there for this week. I pray that you have a really good week. I'll be back next week, and it would be wonderful if you could join me as well. But in the meantime, I send you brightest blessings and say bye-bye. Hello, Taurus. Lovely to see you here. This is your AstroTarot reading for the week beginning the 17th of October 2022, and I'm your host, Lunarcraft from Psychic Truth. And I'm going to dive straight in. I've been shuffling my cards, focusing in on your star sign. I've just split the deck and I'm selecting 3 cards straight off just for you, Taurus. And then what I'll do is work through each of the cards, and if possible, I'll be pulling in some of the planetary influences, but let's see what comes out. Oh, wonderful. Absolutely fabulous for you, Taurus. First off, a bit of really good news. None of these are bad news, but this is really good news. You have some good news coming your way, and I believe it will be this week. Wow, what an opening card. If you look at the image, it's a couple dancing under the, I want to call it canopy. I dare say it's got an official name, but I'm not aware of it. But it's like the canopy that's used in Jewish weddings. And that is one of the messages that is contained within this card, the formalization of a relationship and the joy that that brings. Absolute 1000% joy. And it's a card of celebration. It's a card of success. There are sunflowers in the background. There are bowers of flowers around the stage. It's fabulous. It really is wonderful. And I'm not ignoring you. I'm just checking through my notes because my memory is getting worse the older I get. But I remember having read through something this week. There it is. Towards the end of the, if you like, business week, the Moon and Venus join forces. They form a sextile angle that brings fresh opportunities for you. Word of caution, be aware that opportunities can arrive in different ways, and they're not always in your face and obvious. So be alert, be ready to take action. But the beauty within this card, or this sextile and card, is that emotionally you're under the influence of the moon. That is true also of feelings and emotions, moods, home, family, caring, the whole kit and caboodle. Whereas Venus focuses on love relationships, but also on beauty. And by bringing the two planets together, it generates an emotional attachment or response to things that are beautiful. And Venus encourages you to make your environment even more beautiful. It sounds very wishy-washy, but those two energies together are so powerful. Now, your middle card is the Three of Wands, and it shows, I like to call him the traveller, looking out across the water, the sea, starting to plan where he's going next. And again, it's significant, really significant, because what it's offering you is the opportunity to really think about where you want to end up. That task that you've been working on for what seems like forever, you want to get that finished, and under this particular planetary aspect, you will get the opportunity to do so. The Sun moves into Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is one of the least understood of all the star signs. There's a depth and intensity to Scorpio people, and that is what's being partially revealed to you at this time. But on top of that is the energy for you to really take apart what it is you need to get done, to build a strategy to help you achieve that. And along with that will come the willpower and the determination for you to achieve what you want. Now, your final card, my favourite of all the kings. It's the King of Pentacles. Now, I wouldn't describe him as particularly rich, but he is well off because he's handled his money wisely. He has put his money to work for him. He's made some good, sound investments. He's happy with where he has reached. He's very content to let things just unfold around him. He's dressed here in all his regalia, and he's surrounded. The dominant colour is green. Green for money, green for abundance. And he is so content with where he has ended up that even with all this regalia on, if you look at the image, he's got a pair of carpet slippers on as well. That is how comfortable and relaxed this king feels. And he's saying, you too can enjoy this. Just be clear about how you're going to make it, how you're going to make your money work for you. So, all in all, wow, what a week. What a week you're looking forward to. I'm going to leave it there. because I think you have plenty to be thinking about. So I will take this opportunity to wish you an absolutely outstanding week. I'll be back next week, and I'd love it if you could join me as well. But in the meantime, I wish you, or I send you, brightest blessings and say bye-bye. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your AstroTarot reading for the week beginning the 17th of October 2022. I'm your host, Lunarcraft from Psychic Truth, and I'm going to dive straight into the reading. As you can see, I'm shuffling my cards, and I'm going to split the deck and select 3 cards just for you, Gemini. I've got to get this right. Let's... and that one. Right. Let's turn these over, see what the messages are for you this week. And if appropriate, I'll pull in some information from planetary influences as well. So, starting straight off with the first card, you've got 7 of Wands. Now, I know at times, Gemini, you like, let's put it how, you enjoy a healthy debate. I'm not going to call it an argument. No, never. But you do know how to stand up for yourself and the things that you believe in. Good on you, because there's many people who lack that ability. You are very capable of holding your own, of looking for ways to lessen the impact of negative situations. Now, what I'm also seeing, and this is the one that started my smile, you have my all-time favourite card. I always want to call it the Phoenix card because that's the image on the card. But it's Judgment. But it is a card of transformation. It's recognizing that when something is done and is no longer useful, that's the time to ditch it, to get rid of it. So it's not cluttering you up mentally, physically, or emotionally. But out of what may have turned into a powerfully negative situation, and turn it around so that it comes through renewed, revitalized, re-energized. That's got to be worth it. And it does bring to mind a trine formation between the Moon and Pluto. Now, Pluto might only be a small planet. In fact, it's not even classed as a planet now, but in astrology terms, it is. And Pluto is the mischief maker, for want of a better expression. He is the planet of transformation. But what Pluto has a tendency to do is to completely destroy everything that is established and familiar in order to build something that is stronger and better fit for purpose. So that is the opportunity that awaits you. And then your final card is the Ace of Cups. Cups, all to do with emotions, feelings, moods, home, family, nurturing, caring, all those things. And in this situation, the cup is quite literally running over. It's brimful of goodness, of positive, soothing energy. Just imagine for a moment that you are sat on the lakeside or a gravelly beach. I'm only saying that because that's where you get the best sounds. And you tune in to the sound that the water is making as it laps against stones or washes across stones and then retreats. It's one of the most soothing sounds you can imagine. And that's the healing quality of water. But this is also to do with love. Love in its purest sense. And again, it brings to mind one of the planetary influences that comes just before the weekend as the Moon and Venus form a sextile angle that will open fresh opportunities up for you, but do be aware that sometimes opportunities can be presented in not so obvious ways. So keep your wits about you. Be prepared to follow your nose with new opportunities. But also the pairing of these two planets is really significant. This time, as I said, it's Moon and Venus forming a sextile. Venus is all to do with love, loving relationships, beauty, and together the Moon sees the beauty and attaches emotions to that feeling, whereas Venus, who controls beauty, looks at things more from an aesthetic stance and wants to make your surroundings even more beautiful. And that's the influence I feel you could well find yourself under. Okay, I think you've got more than enough to be thinking on for this next week, so I'm going to leave it there rather than overload you. I'll be back next week. I sincerely hope that you will be able to join me again next week. But for now, have an absolutely outstanding week. And I send you brightest blessings and say bye-bye. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your AstroTarot reading for the week beginning the 17th of October 2022. I'm your host, Lunarcraft from Psychic Truth. I'm going to dive straight into the reading. As you can see, I'm shuffling my cards, split the deck, and then 3 cards, especially for you, Cancer, Let's have a look, see what we've got. Wonderful. Okay. Right. The reason I'm smiling, I'm a Cancerian, so this is wholly appropriate to me as well as to you. The first card to come out is the moon, our ruler. Now, if you look in the books, they write the moon off as being negative because it's associated with the dark. Think of it another way. The darkness is broken by the light of the moon. The sun's not in evidence, but the moon rules the night. The moon is also responsible for emotions, feelings, moods, home, family, nurturing, caring. So it is really powerful. And in contrast to the sun, the moon goes through a monthly cycle. Much the same as women do. But it starts off as dark. Nothing. That's the new moon. And over the next couple of weeks, it will gain in power, it will grow in size, and its light will get ever brighter. And then the second half of that monthly cycle sees it diminishing, waning, growing weaker. But it's ready to start over again. Whole new month, whole new opportunities. So, let's not dismiss the moon and its power over us. We are essentially water. That's what we're made up of. I think it's something like 70 or 80% of us is water. The moon has its pull on tides and water, and it affects us in much the same sort of way. So start to live by the moon's cycles. Recognize what's going on at any given time, and you will find that your life becomes richer, more rounded, and you will start manifesting your long desired hopes and dreams. The next card is the Nine of Wands, and this one always makes me think, okay, so there's a phase coming close to its conclusion, but what have I achieved in this period? What do I want to achieve? And that's what the image is showing. It's a man surrounded by 9 wands, but he's thinking about where he wants to go next, which leads into your final card, which is the 7 of Cups. And while you're going through that planning stage, you have got so many ideas floating around in your mind, your imagination, things that you would like to achieve at some point in your future. The key is identifying what is possible and prioritizing accordingly. Now, eventually, there's no reason at all why you shouldn't achieve everything that you desire. And when you've prioritized your thoughts, which are the generation space for future plans, ideas, ways of moving forward, ways of leaving things behind as well, things that are no longer of any purpose to you. Without those thoughts and ideas and dreams, life would be so boring. So, use your imagination, create the life that you want, and then take action to bring it to reality. I think that's quite enough for you to be thinking over. I know it is for me. My mind is already going off in a myriad of directions. All that's left for me to do now is to say thank you for joining me, and I wish you an absolutely tremendous week. I'll be back next week, and I truly hope you will be able to join me then. But for now, I send you brightest blessings and say bye-bye.